and welcome to my July favourites, and I know it's quite late and this is not the standard sort of beauty makeup favourites, this is the alternative favourites, and I did one of these last month. I really enjoyed doing it. That goes me far. I really enjoyed doing it and I really wanted to do it again this month. It's just interesting, I think, to hear about things that people like that aren't just makeup and beauty, and just books, films, TV, just things that you may not have come across yourself, and you might hear about it and be interested in learning more. So I thought I'd do them again because I enjoyed doing them. So we're going to start with a drink. I haven't got my food favourite here, but I've got my drink, and that is Ting. Now, I have mentioned this before, but I don't think I've ever showed it. It comes in slightly different packaging sometimes, in just that the background is a lighter green. But it's basically just a fizzy grapefruit drink, and you can get this in, it's in Sainsbury's. It's 39p a tin, and it's in like sort of the foreign food section. So there's there's an aisle, or half an aisle, where it's all just foods that aren't like brands from the UK, so you can pick up lots of interesting things. You can get coconut water there, and corn nuts, which I'd heard of before but never tasted it yet. So sick of these dogs. I don't know if you could hear that. There's Alec going, shut up. Every time somebody goes past, Molly gets annoyed and then everybody else has to join in. Anyway, so yeah, it's lots of different things that you would never normally find in UK stores, maybe just in specialist stores, and there are some very interesting things there to try, so it's definitely worth having a look. But I absolutely love Ting, it's gorgeous. My food favourite of the moment would probably be Reese's Puffs. Don't have any left, but that is a cereal. It's an American cereal and I love peanut butter. I'm obsessed with anything peanut butter at the moment, and I've been loving the Reese's bars, Nutrageous bars. Now the actual Reese's Puffs I got from Yankee Doodle Candy, and they were ridiculously expensive for this box of cereal, but the Nutrageous bars are around 60p I think, and you can actually buy those in Sainsbury's, so that's pretty cool because the Reese's products are just so tasty. So those are my sort of food and drink favourites. So moving on. Now, one of these things actually was August that we saw it, but it came out in July. I'm going to talk about it as a July favourite. So, cinema. We're going to have to mention The Dark Knight Rises, because we went to see that and we were totally blown away by it. It's on nearly 3 hours, but it certainly doesn't feel like it. Alec kind of got lost a little bit with the story, and sometimes it's a bit difficult to tell what Bane and Batman are both saying, just because of how their voices are quite altered. But he didn't like it quite as much as me and Tony did. We both kind of felt the same. It was like you had nothing on your mind whatsoever, because the film was so amazing. You just literally weren't thinking of anything else. You were just totally immersed in the story and in the film itself. And I think a good film does that. Sometimes you can go to the cinema and be watching a film and kind of think, oh, I think I want to go here after I've seen this, or you know, oh, I might fancy this for my tea. Sometimes you think about other things, but literally when we went to see Batman, it was so amazing. We loved it. But we're a bit like that. We're not so chick flick. We do enjoy chick flicks, but we're more into kind of action films, and that's really what we enjoy, and it was just really amazing. So I had to mention that in this. A film that I've also enjoyed that is actually on Sky at present is called The Help. Now, I had heard of this. I know a lot of people had been reading the book, and I hadn't actually picked the book up, but the film was on, and it was on Anytime, so I watched it. I laughed and I cried, and it makes you feel so many emotions, and it's such a, I don't know, it's a funny film. It's endearing, and it's awful to think that things used to be like that, because I just can't imagine it. I don't see, when I look at people, I don't think about the colour of their skin. I don't think about what their religious beliefs are. I don't worry about that kind of thing, you know, what guides them and what they believe in. I look at the person and their heart and their soul and their interests, and I don't understand how anybody could treat anybody any differently just because of the colour of the skin. And some of the things in the film do get you crying. I'm a big softie though. But I just thought it was an amazing film, and I've actually ordered the book. The book actually came the other day. I got it second hand. I got it from Play Trade, and I've actually started reading it, and I'm really enjoying the book. So I'm really glad that it's kind of encouraged me to get the book. Like I said, I saw the book in Sainsbury's, and it's not the normal thing that I would actually read, because I tend to read very much what I like to watch. So I'm very into my James Patterson, Lee Childs and John Grisham. I like legal sorts of things, and I love anything kind of action, psychological thrillers. We love CSI in this house. I'm totally obsessed with that. Anything kind of crime related. So The Help wasn't something I'd normally pick up and read, but because I've seen the film, I'm going to really enjoy reading the book, and I can tell that I've read a couple of chapters already and I'm hooked. It's just really, really good. So I mentioned that. Alright, another thing that I want to mention that we didn't think we were going to enjoy, but we absolutely love it, and that was the Olympic opening ceremony. We actually taped it because we were intrigued about what it was going to be like, and see, it's a big thing really. I think we've had a lot going on in England this year. We always have Wimbledon, but we had the Queen's Jubilee, and then we were hosted the Olympics, and I'm proud to be from Britain right now, and it's great to feel a part of something so big and so special. So we taped it, and then we sat and watched it the next day. And we were hooked, I'm not gonna lie. People think, oh no, how could you like it? But it was amazing. It's just so much to see, and it was so well put together, and some of the effects, and when it looked like it was the fires coming through to create the big circle, and they all went up in the sky, and then the way all the kettles came together to make this one big huge Olympic flame with everybody's flames all uniting together. Just fantastic. And we're going to burn it to disc because we want to keep it so that we could watch it in the future if we wanted to. And we also quite enjoyed the procession of all the countries coming in. Here's Alec. Ooh, thank you.
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea. Aww. Yeah, so, and all the different countries coming in, and that was really good, and we were laughing because we were like, oh, we've never heard of that country, they're just making countries up now. Just making people parade in. The funny thing is about when me and Tony watch things, even if it's, I don't know how to explain it really, but we watched ballet once, which you think, wow, what on earth. It was on the Sky Arts channel, and it was, Tony, what was it? That ballet. The Little Mermaid. It was The Little Mermaid, and it was a ballet company doing it, and it should not have been really very exciting. Not that we don't like ballet is very nice and everything, but it was a little strange. But the thing is, with us, even if something's a bit strange or a bit boring, we can usually just laugh about it, and we pick things, and we name people, and we laugh, and we just have a really good time about it. And Little Mermaid was just amazing. It was so funny. They all had names, called them all different names.
Little Mermaid was Scrawn.
Scrawn, because she was really skinny.
The captain.
The captain. Abe, because there was a bloke with a big tall hat that looked like Abraham Lincoln. I can't remember something. Twinkie. He was the very gay captain, wasn't he?
No, the captain was the very gay captain, then Twinkie was the girl.
Oh yeah, Twinkie. I don't know why we called her Twinkie.
What about the witch person?
I don't remember that one. But we watched it, and everybody had names, and we had a really good laugh about it, and it was about 3 hours long, but we still watched it. Because it was like, what's going to happen now? So when we watched the Olympic ceremony and we were watching all the people come in, that's kind of what we do. Sometimes when we watch things and it's a little bit boring, sometimes we just end up amusing ourselves by just adding our own commentary. Like we were once watching some kind of football and we were adding our own commentary onto that. That was very good, that one. It was alternative commentary for football. It was quite amusing. So that's what we tend to do. So, but we did enjoy the Olympic ceremony. We thought it was amazing. And we were like watching them come in, not thinking that they were alphabetical, of course. So we were at D and we were like, oh.
Yeah, they said, well, it's going in alphabetical.
Yeah, and then they went, so we're in alphabetical order, and we looked at each other and went, oh, no.
D.
But they were only at D, and we're right at the end, we're going to have to wait till U. But then, of course, it went all the way through. and we were just last. We weren't in alphabetical because we were hosts. We were last. So we were like, no, I can't believe it.
Hosts should go first.
Yes, but yeah, it was really good. So we really enjoyed it, and like I said, we're going to put it on DVD because we will watch it again at some point in the future. But the best part of it, the highlight of the whole thing, was the Bond sequence. Because we were like, there's Bond walking in Buckingham Palace. Oh, look at the lovely corgis. Yeah. And then when he went in the room, you thought, no, this is not going to be the Queen. This can't possibly be the Queen. It's just, you're going to see the back of her head and nothing. Then the Queen turns around and says, good evening, Mr. Bond. Me and Tony were like, no! It was an amazing moment. I never thought the Queen would ever do anything like that. I'm not a huge royal fan, but I just thought that was totally amazing. Yeah, so we really enjoyed the whole spectacle of it. It was amazing, very well put together, and we can't wait for the closing ceremony, and we can't believe it's already over. So that is the Olympic ceremony. Ooh, Batman. Right, on television, 2 things been enjoying. First thing is, oh, actually three things maybe. Yeah. First thing is Revenge. If you haven't seen it, it's on E4. Not going to tell you too much about it, but it's basically somebody, her father was killed because of a conspiracy. They were trying to hide something up. He ended up getting framed for it, and she's actually come back to the place to get revenge on the people who were involved in that. And it's really good. Love it. It's really, really quite addictive. It's great how she's doing certain things, how she's getting rid of certain people, how she's framing people. It's just really interesting, and you know, you're quite excited to see where it's going to go. So I'm pretty happy about that. And somebody also mentioned it in their favourites as well. I think it was Tanya. Tanya Burr, Pixie 2 Woo, she mentioned it as well, and I did comment in her video, yeah, I love that, just hope they don't cancel it like so many other good things. And then somebody from America actually commented back on my comment and said, no, series 2 will be coming. So I was really pleased to hear that, so that's cool. The other thing is Big Brother, and a lot might think, oh no, she can't believe she watches Big Brother, but I always have watched it. I used to watch it a lot. I guess the earlier series I was in a very dark sort of place there in the relationship that I was in, and it used to be on during the night, and it just sometimes I don't know why, it used to be quite therapeutic and quite helpful to have that on and to have that noise. I don't know, it was a very strange thing, but it's kind of just something that I enjoy watching. And sometimes it's more for you just can't believe what's happening, but the other part of it is I have a degree in psychology, and the whole thing is really just one big psychological experiment, and I really find it quite interesting, like the dynamics of the house and how people change and interact with each other, how situations affect them, and I think it's just really interesting. But I really quite like the characters and I do get quite involved, and I'm very happy to see who the final 5 are. There are certain people I didn't want in the final, and I'm really glad that those people are where they are, and yeah, I think it'd be really interesting. So I've been loving that. Music, nothing too different to report here, to be honest. Lady Gaga, Born This Way album, it's on repeat, just constantly listen to it. I love Nicki Minaj's song Starships, just can't seem to, you know, add that one. I absolutely love that song. Yeah. And Adam Lambert's new CD, because yes, it's out, and Alec got it for us, which I'm really happy, because I'm really pleased that he got that, and he got the deluxe edition, because we love Adam, and really like that album too. So that's cool. Other than that, what have I got on here? Right, a couple of movies I've also been watching on different sort of mediums. On Sky, I've just watched Panic Button, and that came on Anytime yesterday, and I just watched it yesterday, and it was very good. I thought the ending was quite strange. I'm getting a little bit tired of like films where when you watch a film, sometimes you want it to end and kind of be wrapped up, so that little story's nice and neat and wrapped up, unless you know it's going to be part of an ongoing movie series, and then you kind of think, oh, I can't wait for the next one. But the end of this was a little bit of a letdown, because you didn't want the end to happen, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to give too much away on that one, but it was a good concept, and it was actually a decent film. The other one I watched on Love Film, which is My Soul to Take. I love horror films. This is a Wes Craven movie made in 2010, I believe, and really good. I really enjoyed that film. I like the concept of it. It's very much, I love teen horror. That's my favourite genre, and I really liked it. So that was on Netflix. Actually, because we've got Netflix. I've been loving Netflix, actually. I mentioned them in my favourites because I've been picking up a lot of things that I've never even heard of. Watched 10 Things I Hate About You, the series. Really, really good, so really enjoying Netflix. And then we also have Love Film, and we got Woman in Black, which is Daniel Radcliffe. Now there's going to be a bit of a spoiler here, so if you haven't seen it, you may want to maybe skip this. This is the last thing I'm going to mention in this video. But The Woman in Black was a very good film. I thought Daniel Radcliffe was very good. I didn't think of him as Harry Potter for even a second. I thought he played a very different character. It was quite dark. Really enjoyed it. I mean, he's a good actor, but it proved that he can be something other than Harry, and I really like that. I love the story. I love the concept. When I first watched it and when it gets to the end and it happens, I was really disappointed. I was like, oh no, they've ruined it. I don't believe it. I didn't want that to happen, you know. Got quite upset about it. And then I actually sat and thought about what had happened at the end. And actually, the way I see it is, like I said, this is a spoiler. So at the end, the woman who is killing all these children in this village goes after his son, who is actually coming there with a nanny to visit him there because he's there to do some work. And they're at the train station, and he's going to catch a train straight back to London with the nanny and the child because he doesn't want the child to be there. But he's actually reunited this ghost figure with her dead son, and apparently that is why she was killing all these children, because her child got killed but was never pulled out of the swamp that he died in, and she was like mourning him, and she was killing all these children, kind of collecting them in a way. So he went into the swamp, got the child out and put it in the grave with her, and you think, great, that's a resolution. So he goes to the train station, he's going to get this train straight back, and his little boy is enticed onto the railway lines by the ghost lady, because that's what she does. She actually invites them to die. You know, she makes them do things. So he jumps down onto the railway tracks, the train comes, and then the next thing you know, he's standing holding the little boy, and you wonder whether he's passed or not. And then the little boy says, who's that lady? And it's actually his wife who died giving birth to the little boy. And he says, that's your mum. Now I was kind of like, oh, but he's, you know, at first I kind of thought, she's killed him anyway, even though he did that and he returned the boy to her. It means it's never going to end. I don't like that. I want it to be resolved. But when I thought about it after, she actually returned the favour to him that he did to her. So he did actually end the situation. I don't think the thing was she wasn't going to take any more children, because he gave her something, but she gave him something in return. And the reason she killed him was because he was incredibly unhappy since his wife's death, and he never smiled, and his son drew pictures of him with an unhappy face and said, that's you, you're always sad. So what she actually did was, in return, she allowed him and his son to pass over to the other side so that they could be with his wife and he could be happy again. So that's the way I want to see it now. At first I kind of saw it differently, but when I sat and thought about it, I think that's actually what it was. It was kind of, she actually gave him something in return, and that was to give him happiness by reuniting them. So yes, that's my little spoiler. But I did warn you, so you know, if you've come here and you're still with me now and you didn't want to know the end, shame on you for keep listening. Just kidding. So that's it. That's all my little favourites. I've made notes so I wouldn't forget anything. Oh, and the other thing I did want to mention is my handbag, because it's not really a beauty favourite, but I got this handbag in Asda in the sale, and it was down from £8 to £4, and it's a lovely aqua colour. It's got a nice little handle on, but it's also got a strap, and it's nice sized. I wanted something a bit bigger than the handbags I've got at the moment, and I can actually get everything in here. So purse, phone, camera, inhaler, iPod, everything, keys, all my things that might need to go out on a day out. So I'm loving that. My phone case. Oh. And there's my Millie on the phone. But it's just basically a case that's meant for an iPhone, so it just sort of like that. And the cool thing actually about it is, it's quite strange, you can see the Samsung through the back. It's quite strange that. It does cover the camera, so you do have to take it off if you want to use the camera. But I love it. I love the little ears, and I love that it's pink. I think it looks great with the darker phone. And that was from the Pound Shop, so that was a huge bargain. So that's it for now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.